Hello, so today I'm going to share with you a painting that I'm going to do, and I'm also going to share a few tips on getting yourself in a habit of painting all the time. So what I usually do, I have a set of brushes that I really like and I look forward to painting because I like these brushes a lot. And these are Simply Simmons bright brushes. So they're like a kind of like a not all the way flat, but kind of like a triangular flat brush. So these are my favorite brushes. So I usually use an 8 and a 10, and I also use a #1 Da Vinci brush just to do my initial sketch before I do painting. So I sketch the canvas with this black first, black acrylic paint, using this teeny tiny size 1 Da Vinci brush. So I really like the long handle brushes. You can use any brush you like, but these are particularly my favorite brushes. So another thing I would recommend is having putting a canvas on your easel. So if you set your art supply, even if you don't feel like you're in the mood to paint, if you set your canvas on your easel, you'll be able to that canvas will be screaming to you like, come on, paint, paint, paint. So if you put something and get started, like I have in my little art room, if you put your easel up, if you put something put a blank canvas there, even if you're not going to paint, or even if you're not motivated to paint, just put a canvas on that easel, because your mind is going to say, well, we got to go down there and paint. We have to paint. We can't leave it blank. We can't leave it sitting there. Your mind is going to constantly tell you you got to go and fix that problem. It's kind of like a problem solving thing. So if you set yourself up, your mind is going to keep reminding you need to go paint. That canvas is going to be calling out to you like, come on, come on. So another tip I would say is to have, what I usually do, I have jars and buckets of water. So I keep this bucket always filled with water. So there's always going to be water in my paint bucket, whether I paint or not. There's always going to be some water in there, because I want to have a time where I don't have to hurry up and go get stuff so I can paint. I want to have all my materials ready for me. And like I said, I have my brushes are always going to be ready in my art studio. So they're always going to be ready for me. I don't have to go and search for anything. So that's another tip. You want to have your supplies ready, and you want to have everything set up for yourself. So, but yeah, just have a place, make a space for yourself. If you don't have an art studio, make a corner in your room, put your easel there, put a few paints, and have a space for yourself, and have your tools ready for you. Previously in the past, I read Twyla Tharp's The Creative Habit book, and also did a video on that book. So if you want to check that video out, I do have the video on Twyla Tharp, The Creative Habit video. It's on my channel, and she says to have your supplies ready for you to go. So ready for you, so that you can start painting, so that you can start whatever you have to do. If you're a writer, you want to have everything set up. That way you don't have to go and scramble, because the more likely you're more likely to paint or do something creative if you have everything ready to go. So one other tip that I'm going to mention is to, when you have free time, or you have some time where you can look at some pictures of things you want to paint, and then take photos of those pictures or screenshot something. If you go somewhere and something inspires you, take pictures of that, and then you'll always have something on hand that you want to paint. So yeah, keep those photos, take a lot of photos. And you know, I get criticized because I have a whole bunch of photos in my phone from some of my family members. They criticize me for having too many photos, but you know, those photos help me out. They help me to paint whatever I'm going to paint. So don't be afraid to take a whole bunch of photos of something that you might like, and yeah, just take those photos. If you have an app on your phone that will allow you to draw and paint, make some doodles, And then that's another way to inspire you to go and paint and go and keep up your creative whatever it is. So yeah, that's something that's going to help also. So I just wanted to throw that in. Always have your paints ready and available, so you don't have to search for anything. So keep all your supplies in one area. Keep your paints by your easel. Don't put your paints in a box and put them in a shelf somewhere that's not by the easel. So keep your paints by your easel. Keep your water by your easel. Keep everything by the easel ready to go. Okay, so here is the area where I do my painting. So as you can see on the left side, I have my stand where I can look at my iPad, and that's where I look at my photo reference. I have my stool. I have an easel. I also have a cloth right at the bottom of my easel where I can continue to use that cloth and just wipe my brushes, so I don't have to hold any paper towel or anything in my hand. I can just use the cloth to wipe that off. So I have it right down underneath my easel just to make it easier to wipe the brushes off. And then to the right side, I have my water, and then I have all my paints. And above that, I have my brushes. So everything is all in one area, and that makes it really easy to paint.